Ohayo.
Ohayo. Welcome to the So Japanese podcast, the podcast where we talk about all things Japanese. We are your hosts. My name is John.
My name is Ryusuke.
Today's topic is we're going to talk about Japanese fashion.
Yep.
And the Japanese fashion principles or ideals.
Japanese are very fashionable, right?
Exactly. And I'm far from fashionable.
Okay. Are you? You're fashionable.
No, I'm not fashionable at all.
Okay.
So today we have a special guest to help us talk about this topic.
Yep.
We have our friend here, Miku.
Miku.
Say hi, Miku.
Hi.
Hi.
Miku, she studied fashion in university in Osaka. So we invite her on to help us kind of elaborate on or her experiences, explain her experiences or what she's seen as differences between Japanese fashion and Westernized fashion.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
So let's first talk about what traditional Japanese fashion is or was. So for all our listeners, if you're Westerners, if you think Japanese fashion, the first thing you're going to think of is kimono, for sure. Kimonos are for females?
Mostly for females, yes.
Mostly for females. Yeah. And then kimonos are more formal, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
And then males, the male equivalent to a kimono would be a
Hakama.
And is that that's formal too, right?
That's formal too, yes. Like for weddings or some special occasion or even like funeral sometimes, yeah.
So if you get in Japan, if you get an invitation to a wedding or a funeral, is it okay to show up in a kimono or a hakama?
Yeah, weddings, but kimono mostly for female anyway.
Okay.
Guys are always wearing suit.
Okay, so it's already changed.
It's already changed, yes, exactly.
For example, do you have a hakama?
I didn't have a hakama, but I had I was wearing only one day. That's for 20 years old anniversary because we celebrate when we turn into 20 years old. And that time, like all the 20 years old people wearing kimono, hakama, or suit.
The 20-year-old celebration
it's a big thing.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
So Miku, did you have one as well?
Yeah, I had kimono.
For your 20th thing?
Yeah, I did.
What other times have you worn a kimono?
For my sister's wedding.
Okay. And is it normal to for Japanese people to have like many kimonos like nowadays?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, in your lifetime you only have 1 or 0, I think.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But because you can rent.
That's common, right?
That's
Rentals.
really like I rented it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think
fortunately, my grandma had some money to offer me
it's expensive.
one kimono. Yeah.
Is it something that you guys pass on to like later generations?
Exactly.
Okay. And then also another traditional form of Japanese clothing is called a yukata.
Yukata, yeah.
What's the main difference between a yukata and a kimono or a hakama?
I think so. Kimono basically like there's more layers,
more
thicker.
Okay.
And yukata is only one layer and thinner.
Okay.
So like mostly people wearing yukata in the summertime.
Okay.
Yeah, and like there's bunch of like summer festivals and like fireworks, and then people love to wear yukata. And the yukata guys also wearing same, but different color, different design.
Okay.
But, yeah, same.
So like when I think of a kimono, I think of like beautifully embroidered like a crane or like a dragon or like really nice design color. Yukata same?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you can have like
same. Yeah, but I would say like more brighter sometimes.
When living in Japan, when I seen like the summer festivals and stuff and people wear the yukata, it looks more plain.
Yeah.
Like it's more like a solid color. How about like the stereotype of Westerners thinking of what Japanese wear on their feet are those wooden like platform slippers.
Geta.
Geta
Yeah.
that makes like the click 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 sound.
Yeah.
Is it common nowadays for you like
It's
Japanese
not,
people?
It's
No.
not common at all. But I loved Geta.
Oh yeah.
So I had a Geta when I was high school. And sometimes I was wearing to go school.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get in trouble? Is that okay?
Yeah, I was getting in trouble. And everybody kind of like watching me and like, what is this guy doing? But I personally, I really love it.
Are they
I just-
comfortable? They
to
don't
me,
look so comfortable.
A lot of people say it's not comfortable.
Okay.
Because it's obviously like hard wood, right?
Yes,
There's no
yes.
cushion or nothing.
That's true.
But for me, I like that feeling. Like your feet on wood.
You're
Because
closer
you're
to.
barefoot. So
Oh yeah.
I don't put any like. You can also wear
Yes.
the type of socks called tabi.
Is that the sock where like
They separate like
your big toe
exactly
and the four other toes,
exactly.
right?
yeah.
So then, that's more traditional clothing. So ever since the Meiji period ended in the 1860s, style became more westernized, and the Japanese wore dresses, suits,
and like pants and skirt and basically
ties.
like no kimono anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so the Western clothing, what do you guys call that?
we call yofuku.
Yofuku. So like yoshoku, like
Exactly.
westernized food.
Westernized food, westernized clothes.
So yo means
Yo means westernized.
yeah.
Western.
Western.
and then the Japanese clothing is called
Wafuku.
wafuku.
Yeah.
So there's wa shoku as well, right?
Exactly.
Japanese food.
Yeah.
So
Wa
wa
is
is
Japanese.
so like wagyu,
Exactly.
Japanese
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so wa means Japanese and yo means Western.
Yep.
So Miku has been living outside of Japan for quite a bit now, no?
Yeah, for 8 years.
For 8 years.
Mhm.
And what are some, in moving here and living here all this time, have you seen any, in fashion, in terms of fashion, have you seen any things that like you can tell, oh, I think that's inspired from Japan?
Yeah, like when I came here like 8 years ago, I used to see some girls wearing Japanese school uniform style.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I thought that was from like otaku kind of culture.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
but yeah, or randoseru,
Oh, randoseru.
which
Yeah.
is a Japanese elementary school kids have. Like
It's like a leather
Backpack?
leather
Backpack,
backpack. It's almost like like the Uber Eats
Yes. It's
delivery
big and
people.
square, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's made by leather.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely came from Japan, and I used to see that.
Mhm.
But now I feel like more Asian pop culture is getting bigger in Western
Right.
culture.
True.
Yeah, I feel like I see like girls wearing Asian or Japanese inspired makeup, or also in Japan, I feel like Japanese people are good at like layering stuff, like layering clothing stuff.
Okay.
So I feel like I see people here do that style more nowadays.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, layering is like a bigger and bigger thing nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't layer, so I'm not fashionable. You mentioned makeup, like Asian makeup style, like face makeup,
Yeah,
right?
like eyeshadow
Uh-huh.
or like cheeks. Yeah.
One thing I noticed living in Japan is how many beauty products were targeted towards males.
Okay.
Like nowadays, you can see there's a lot of makeup brands that have products geared towards males, but even in convenience stores in Japan, like there's a
Yeah.
whole shelf section, makeup, cosmetic stuff just for men. I would say,
Skincare.
yeah, skincare, right?
Mhm.
I would say that's influenced by Japan or Asia as well.
Mhm.
What other things have you seen, like that are? How about differences between Japanese fashion and everyday, what you see walking around the streets of Tokyo, to everyday over here?
I live in Canada now, so I feel like I see people wearing more practical clothes because here the weather is very different from Tokyo. Japan. People here, I feel like they wear more like mountain style.
Like Patagonia. And like,
Right.
So practical to keep warm.
Yeah, exactly. Like yoga pants and a white, very like plain T-shirt.
For comfort as well.
Yes.
Practical comfort. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like it looks very good on Western people.
Okay.
But as opposed to Japanese people, for example, I'm very short, so like I have to put like so many makeup or layering to decorate myself to look very cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you feel like in Western cultures they don't have to put as much effort to look cute?
Yeah.
Because
That's
they
how I
already
felt.
the base is already
Yeah.
The
we
base.
think we think Western people they have like bigger eyes, like
okay.
tall nose kind of thing. Yeah.
I think it's like quite normal for all Asian cultures to think like the standard of beauty is more Westernized. Like a common thing in South Korea is that they will get the double eyelid surgery.
Right.
But that to me is only because you want to have a more Western shaped eye, or get nose surgery to have like more a Western shaped nose. So I don't really like that.
Yeah, I think we'll change soon though.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, right?
now like everybody's like they're proud of themselves, right? But obviously like before only we get like few information from TV or like either radio, but right now because of internet, all the new technology, like you can check whatever you want, right?
Yes.
And you can share any information, and like at this point I think more people notice that like why can't we be ourselves?
Yeah, why can't our standard be the standard of beauty
exactly,
as well?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a big thing in like Southeast Asia, like living in Thailand. The complexion of Southeast Asians are darker, right? More tan, but they find light skin like beautiful. That's what they find. So like all the Thai celebrities are either mixed with like Caucasian or they are rather light skinned.
Yeah.
So that's why they in Thailand, for example, they love before Japanese was the first. They thought the Japanese so beautiful, right? And that's the standard we want. But now it's the same skin tone, I suppose. But I think South Korea is their standard. Koreans are their standard of beauty, but also because of K-pop and K-dramas.
Yeah, so I think like fashion is always involved by information, like what type of information you can get, what type of information you see, and then from that you take that, right? Yeah.
How about so we're talking about male cosmetics. How about male fashion? Have you seen like differences between Japanese male fashion and Westernized male fashion?
I feel like in Japan, men's fashion they have more variety in terms of like styles compared to Western like men's style.
But as a Japanese, when I grow up teenager, I love fashion. Then when I go, for example, if I go like a department store, and only 2 floor is for the man, and then 6th floor is for female. And I always like, why? This is so unfair. I love fashion, and why I only have 2 choice? And then they have 6 choice. You know, like what's the difference between like men and female?
I want to say it's worse over here. Like here, it's half a floor.
That's right.
Is for males,
That's
right? So I think that's true too. Like going to Japan, I feel like the males are way more fashionable, right? They're more up to date. They're more they're willing to experiment more. Right. So let's quickly talk about some Japanese fashion principles that have influenced Western culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I know street fashion, like I guess, how would you describe street fashion anyway? Like
in Japan?
Well,
What do you mean?
in general.
In general.
Like, is street fashion separate from
Casual?
high fashion?
Street fashion could be high fashion, I think.
Yeah, right, nowadays.
Yeah.
And I think the Japanese is what kind of made that. Like, street fashion brands can also be considered high end.
Yeah.
So, for example, we have like Comme des Garçons. That's
Comme des
Japanese.
Garçons.
Yes. Undercover is one.
Yeah.
Yoji Yamamoto.
Yoji Yamamoto.
A bathing ape.
Yeah.
Yeah, bathing ape.
Huge. Yeah,
it's
right.
huge. Yeah.
I feel like the like skater culture, clothing, street clothing really looks to Japan for the standard of what's cool on the street, right?
But to me, like the bathing ape is very similar to Stussy or
Yes,
you know,
that's true.
or the
That's
other
true.
Yeah.
Supreme.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supreme is really big in Japan. Like
Huge,
Yeah.
huge,
Supreme and
huge.
Slasher.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very big. Enough where I feel like a lot of Western brands have collaborated with Japanese street fashion brands.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone wants to work with the Japanese street fashion brands.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing growing up that we saw was like raw denim was like really popular, and that's a Japanese thing, right?
Yeah, Japanese indigo, aizome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a how does indigo work?
So indigo, what do you mean? Like
Is it from a plant?
yes, yeah. Like the real indigo is as a plant. It's originally from India,
Okay.
and then it's called. Let me double check.
I think
Yeah, from India it's called indigo,
okay.
and then they take the indigo to say indigo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's that bright. Is it not bright? How would you describe that color?
I think when you see the indigo color, it's almost like a black, no?
Yeah, in between black and blue.
But
navy.
after you dye,
Yeah.
and then it became like a nice thick blue.
Faded. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
nice blue.
And it's very expensive, no? Like indigo dyed stuff. Why is it so expensive? It's just handmade, hand dyed.
Hand dyed, and then so yeah, it's because natural color take more time.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's labor intensive.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the Japanese love to like perfect something, so maybe that's why it's still popular and still thriving in Japan. But in Western culture, it's like this is too much work. We'll just dye it by chemicals and machines.
Chemicals and machines. Yeah.
How about the idea of wabi-sabi? So wabi-sabi for a Westerner, we think it's like the Japanese idea of finding beauty in imperfection.
Yeah.
Like in Western culture, you can design your home or dress wabi-sabi style.
Yeah.
Is that a thing in Japan?
I never think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know like Wabi-Sabi is related to like design or fashion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we thought I thought Wabi-Sabi was more like mental.
Mind.
Yeah.
A mentality.
mentality.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe Western culture just used that Japanese mentality to like put it into like a style, a way of dressing or a way of design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So for you guys thinking wabi-sabi, if you were to dress wabi-sabi, although you guys don't think like that, right? You guys don't say that, right? How do you guys think wabi-sabi looks?
I don't know.
I associate it with ancient like tea artist would wear, like for example like Hakama and vest.
Okay.
Yeah, and wear like a hat kind of thing. But I think it's completely wrong.
Okay. So now
It's like a sennorikyu.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Okay.
now when we pulled up some pictures of like Wabi-Sabi clothing design, it's to me it looks like it's just monochrome,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Just
It's like
all black,
again, like simple
Yeah.
simple.
and
But at the
pretty.
same time, like one might look at the designs and think it's like ill-fitting or like oversized.
Yeah.
I feel like oversized fit is something that was influenced by Japan for sure.
Right. Or asymmetry.
Asymmetry,
Yeah.
yeah, right? Like
Yeah.
the buttons or the buckles are off one
Yeah.
side, the shoulders off, the sleeves are extra long, or
Yeah.
again, this is from someone that doesn't know anything about fashion, but how about androgynous fashion? Like fashion that it could be, you can't, when you look at it, you can't really say that, oh, this is made for a woman or this is made for a man.
Yeah. I actually didn't know about that word.
Okay.
But I think Japanese people wear a Japanese style,
Okay.
not knowing that there's a like such thing. Yeah.
You guys think clothing is clothing.
Yeah.
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 So
We would pick like whatever we think that's
and
cool.
then
Yeah.
and then we try, and if it's fit, then buy it.
Yeah.
Like for me, I have like couple female t-shirt, female shirt. So the female shirt is like the button is opposite, right?
Yes.
So like I don't know until I try.
Yeah.
Then I try and I notice.
Yeah.
But then if it fit,
Yeah.
then I obviously I like the design, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this. You know?
I have a couple of Hawaiian shirts that I bought in Japan vintage. And I'm sure it was in the male section because I wouldn't look at the female section. But then in like buying it and then trying it, it's like, why are the buttons? And I thought,
you feel weird.
I feel weird, but I thought, oh, it's just the Japanese put the buttons on the wrong side, on the different side, right? But it's a woman's shirt, right? So, yeah, the Japanese, not so much of like a hard line between this is women's clothing and this is men's clothing.
Yeah, no, like
As well as the idea of like simple yet complex fashion. So from afar, if you look at like a Japanese designer runway, it just looks like one plain color, or you can't really tell the complexity of it. But up close,
yeah.
the detail, the type of material really matters, right? It's the small things, just like
it's all
anything,
small thing.
anything Japanese, detail oriented.
Kodawari.
Kodawari.
Oh, what's that?
What's the
Detail
kodawari?
oriented.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Their spirit into the technique kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so from an untrained eye, it just might look simple, but really thought has been put into every step, right?
Yeah.
Another thing is apparently in researching this that the sustainable fashion and like zero waste fashion started in Japan.
Oh, really? Oh.
Designer Issei Miyake
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of like popularized the idea, and now all high fashion houses
Yeah.
try to
Yeah,
use those
to be-
principles
yeah.
as well. Have you guys seen that in Japan? Like,
Yeah, I can totally see the sustainability is getting bigger in Japan as like climate change is getting bigger problem. And for example, the clothing store I was working for, like back in Japan, the brand was the designer of the brand. She started off the brand by using trims to make like lingerie, like bras,
Lingerie, okay.
or like t-shirt kind of thing. So I think that was part of sustainability.
And how long ago was that?
Almost like before I came here, so
At
like
least over 8
it's
years.
been like 8 years, yeah.
So I think that's like pretty forward thinking back then. I feel like only sustainability now has been like a recent thing, the last couple 5 years or something. So the Japanese influenced sustainable fashion by using trim, like the spare part bits, organic fabrics.
Yeah.
I guess even like going back to indigo, like dyeing natural, that's sustainable too, right?
Yeah. At the end, right? Because like no chemicals.
Exactly.
You won't damage on the earth, or
no machinery.
and
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, as someone that is not so fashionable, I did notice though in Japanese bookstores, their magazine section is huge compared to like North American magazine sections. And I love looking at the fashion magazines, because every fashion magazine, they always had like a giveaway.
Yeah.
Like I remember I bought a street fashion magazine, and all it was just showing pictures of real people on the streets, and they're just taking photos of like how they how that person dressed like, and like it came with like a little bathing ape bag.
Yeah.
It was like my first bathing ape thing, but it came for free.
Yeah.
In the magazine.
Well, like you buy it. You buy the magazine, right?
Yeah.
But the magazines weren't like crazy priced.
Yeah.
It's still like a normal magazine price,
Like,
but they all have cool giveaways.
Yeah.
Like a small purse or like
handkerchief or bandanas or
something small, but
Yeah.
like really cool for it being a giveaway. And then we can talk about like subcultures.
Yeah.
We've had we're gonna have 2 episodes of us talking about the different subcultures in Japan.
Yeah.
And I feel like subculture fashion goes hand in hand, right? Like I think like we said before, when you see different subcultures in Japan, they do it so well. Like when you see someone part of a subculture, just by how they're dressed, their style, the design, you can tell like they're fully invested in that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, magazines in Japan, they're
I was on a magazine once.
Oh, yeah?
Only once.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when I was working in like my city, Nagoya.
Yeah.
This guy came and then, excuse me, I'm from this magazine. Like, are you interested in like, can I talk? And then
okay, cool. They took your photo.
Yeah.
So I might have seen you in that magazine.
Well, no, that time I was like 16 or 17, and I was punk. Like punk style.
Okay.
Like British punk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So magazines in Japan, there's like a magazine or magazines for every subculture, right?
Yes. Yeah. I grew up with magazines for teenager, magazines for gyaru one time, magazine for like modo style, or
What's modo style?
Modo style is it's like a Wabi-Sabi style.
Okay.
So like use black and white.
Okay.
Like simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very simple. Usually from I think like Paris collection.
Okay.
Yeah. Like using like Comme des Garçons or Hiroshi Yamamoto brand.
Okay.
Yeah. Started from that. Yeah.
So Risuke mentioned that he's in our subcultures podcast. He mentioned that he grew up kind of changing different styles. Were there any styles that you wore or you had when growing up?
Oh yeah, I've changed my style like many times.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, as I grew up. Yeah.
Are there any styles that you can like any subcultures that you can dress like?
I don't know if it was like subculture, but like one time I was into like vintage, and sometime I was very into like high brand.
Okay.
Yeah. So like time to time, like my style would change.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were never like a gyaru?
Gyaru, like I've tried a little bit,
Oh,
but
yeah?
I don't
Really?
think it worked for me. So
Okay.
And
Like how far did you try? Tan? Did you go to tanning salon?
and never.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so besides gyaru, my mom really wanted to be a gosrori,
What's that?
like Lolita style, which is
Okay.
But goth. So like
Oh,
more.
gothic Lolita.
Yeah, gothic
Yeah.
Lolita.
What did you say?
I said
Goth Lolita.
gosrori.
Again, the Japanese are like shortening and combining words.
Yeah.
Gothic Lolita style.
Gothic
Yeah.
Lolita, and there's a Lolita too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your mom was that style?
No, she wasn't. She thought I would look good on that.
Oh.
So she was like, "Can you wear it like
That's
this style?"
funny.
And yeah.
Did you try it?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to see photos of that. I'd love to see photos of that.
I want to see that too. Yeah.
You mentioned vintage. I guess it goes with the sustainability, but vintage stores in Japan are like, to me, one of the best. Like they're everywhere, and even enough where you go to a vintage store, it's designed so well and it's like merchandised so well that even a couple of stores that I would go into, I'd be like, I can't tell if this is actually like used or vintage clothing. You have to double check.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's a thing in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Huge.
Very well maintained.
Very well maintained. Yes.
Yeah, I used to go there a lot. I mean, I still love it. All the vintage clothes.
Yeah.
And
now vintage clothing in North America is huge too.
it's
like,
huge too, right? Yeah.
You can, because I remember even like back then when I was living there, when I think of a vintage store, I'm thinking more like thrifting. Like it should be really cheap. But you would see T-shirts in Japan, vintage, that are like $300.
Yeah.
But then now, well, not now, but as of late, recently, you see that here now.
Like a sukajan from Japan is so super expensive.
What's that?
Sukajan?
Sukajan, the jumper from Yokosuka.
Yeah, the jumper, the jacket jumper
Okay.
from Yokosuka. And then the Yokosuka has army base, like U.S. Army base. So
It's like the bomber jackets?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
they invented like Japanese style. So it's like a same pattern with like a kimono type of pattern.
Oh,
so
I know
you see dragon on the back or tigers.
Yes. And it's that
Crown.
satin material,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
No, those are really cool.
Yeah, your wife has one.
Yeah,
right?
she made sure that when she went, I have to get one.
Yeah.
So
So that's called skajan.
yeah, that's really cool. Those
Yeah.
are really cool.
Yeah.
What brands would you say that are like Japanese brands that have gone worldwide everywhere?
Uniqlo,
For sure, Uniqlo.
Yeah. And
Muji.
Muji.
Muji is
Muji is
another one.
more of a like furniture brand, but yeah, they do make clothes.
Oh, really? Like in
Yeah.
Japan, Muji first came out, it was a furniture brand.
Furniture and like
Furniture and then like pencil
everyday
or
necessity, like
Or like
pencil,
stationery and stuff.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So when you guys were living in Japan, Muji was mostly that, less clothing?
Yeah, I would say like they still have some.
Yeah.
But people go there because they want to buy a notebook or like whatever
Interesting.
for the house,
Okay.
housing product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now, like when you see the international locations of Muji, I feel like it's more clothing focused, right? So yeah, Uniqlo, Muji. Do you see anything like distinct to their style? Like, so I guess like the equivalent to Uniqlo in North America would be like Gap, or like in Europe, Zara. Is there anything that you can see that it's like, okay, I know this is Uniqlo, I know this is Japanese?
Uniqlo for me is very minimal style, like
That's
very
true.
simple. Yeah, and
one
practical.
color. Yeah.
And affordable.
You mentioned mode fashion. Would you say that's?
Yeah, some of their product can be like model fashion. Like,
You guys mentioned before that Uniqlo was like, when you guys were growing up, Uniqlo obviously wasn't as big as it is.
No,
it wasn't.
Here.
No, yeah, because I remember when first Uniqlo opened close to my house, I think I was still like 13 or 14, and it like everybody talk about Uniqlo because it was big, already big enough, and then my parents took me there because it's cheap, right? Of course they don't want to spend money for me.
Yes.
But also I already love fashion, so to me it was perfect, like simple, and there's so many different pants and a jacket or even like fleece jacket.
Yeah.
and like I get bunch of them, but then after 1 month, like I noticed like, oh, the quality is not good.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I think Uniqlo quality is great.
I think that time they're more focused on like the volume, not so much quality.
Yeah.
But 100% sure they got so much complaint because like I remember my freeze jacket, because freeze jacket is one of the popular one. Everybody had it. It's like $20, right?
Yeah.
But that time, I think I wear only like a month, and then the zipper start like not working anymore, and then like you can see all, you know, the material getting like falling apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I complain my mom like, Mom, this is Uniqlo. So like my first impression for Uniqlo was, oh, it's Uniqlo.
Yeah.
But now I think it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned before we started this podcast that because we were trying to think of what the European or American equivalent to Uniqlo type clothing, and we're talking about like H&M. Like for me, H&M is worse quality than Uniqlo. As well as an Asian, I feel like Uniqlo fits so much better.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Gap and H&M. I guess it's made for the Western body, right? And then Uniqlo is made for the Asian body. And it just fits so much.
Yeah,
nicer.
the size wise, like large from Uniqlo, large from H&M, it's different.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
And you guys mentioned the term fast fashion, which I'd never heard before. That's,
Uniqlo is definitely a fast fashion.
fast fashion is like the fast food equivalent to clothing.
Yep.
Like
Big volume.
big volume,
Chain.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
chain.
Yeah.
Would you say Muji is fast fashion?
I'm not so sure about it. I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's very, I think it's between,
Yeah.
because like it's quite expensive
Yeah.
compared to other fast fashion.
Compared to Uniqlo,
Yeah.
it's more
Yeah,
expensive.
Exactly. So like to me, fast fashion is like basically like fast food, right? Like cheap and like quick to eat or quick to wear, and like anytime thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Muji is not fast fashion because I don't own a single Muji thing.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't buy
Yeah.
clothes from Muji.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Then I go Uniqlo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is in Japan, is it like hazukashi, like embarrassing to wear Uniqlo?
Yeah, when Uniqlo came out at first, when my mom used to like take me to Uniqlo, and I was like, oh, I don't want my friends to know that I wear Uniqlo.
Oh.
Yeah, like I felt embarrassing. That
It's like more like Baba fashion. Like to me, Uniqlo is like practical though.
Yes.
You know, heat
Yeah, they
tech,
are.
like the thin down vests, like so for like pretty much every Christmas I get my mom something from Uniqlo.
Oh, nice.
Really?
It's like,
Yeah. But
because
now
it's like old lady clothing, you know, it's like it's fashionable but yet practical, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like they've done like so much innovation, and now that I live in Canada, and I appreciate Uniqlo's quality more than
But you told me before when you're in Japan, you buy Uniqlo, but you don't wanna carry the Uniqlo bag.
Yeah.
So you switch.
No, I still don't carry the bag, but
So you change the bag, or like you just put in a different.
I just put their products into other bag.
Is it because the quality was so bad back then that it's
And also cheap.
It's cheap, yes.
And also she was fashionable, so I guess
exactly. She buys some things from Uniqlo, but she brings her Gucci bag to put it in.
yeah. Or Elmas bag.
Yeah.
Oh, Elmas has the freeze now?
I would say even for like fashionable people nowadays, Uniqlo is like a go-to for basics at least.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like a t-shirt,
Yeah.
just a plain colored t-shirt. The quality is good and affordable enough. And yeah.
And now a lot of Japanese people are just wearing Uniqlo too, right?
Yes.
These days. Yeah.
For our listeners who will visit Japan or people that live there, we'll just talk about Osaka and Tokyo, obviously the two biggest cities in Japan. Are there any streets or like go-to shopping places that you could recommend in Osaka?
In Osaka, if you go to Osaka Station, there's so many malls and buildings, fashion buildings you can visit too. So, yeah.
Anywhere you could go.
Yeah.
You just said fashion buildings. I don't think that term applies to like North America.
Yeah. No.
In
But-
Japan, there's so many fashion buildings.
But in Japan, yes. Like I
So
think
describe a fashion building in Japan. How does that look like?
it looks like exactly same as department.
Yeah,
right?
department store. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all the brands they have are like pretty trendy.
Okay.
Yeah, so that they can target more to younger people.
Which
And specific subcultures.
Yeah.
and which building is that? Like, because they have the name, right? The department store, fashion department store. Like for example, for me in Nagoya, we have Parco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parco.
In Osaka, Parco too.
In Osaka, OPA is
OPA.
for gyaru.
Okay.
Yeah, not only gyaru, but yeah, mostly.
Like young generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when we did our Garu podcast, we read that Garu is kind of like dying down now. It's not so popular.
I mean, Kogaru is dying down, but
Oh,
Gyaru
Gyaru
is
is
still.
still-
Gyaru still exists.
Okay,
but
okay.
different.
No, like
makeup,
tanning
different-
or like hard, like
Yeah.
white eyeshadow or it's,
Okay.
it's different now.
Yeah.
So I know because I lived in Kansai.
Mm-hmm.
Miku's actually from Kansai too.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I went to Osaka, I would go to Orange Street, Minami Hori,
Mm-hmm.
street fashion like in Osaka,
Mm-hmm.
Amerikamura.
American
Yeah.
Mura, Sankaku Koen.
What?
Sankaku Koen.
Park?
Yeah, there's a triangle small park and fashion district.
Yeah, in Amerikamura.
In
Yeah,
Amerikamura.
were all the skateboarders there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's different takoyaki
Yes.
shop there, and then
yes.
it's called Sankaku Koen.
That's where I because we had mentioned that I mistakenly went to Para Para Gyaru Club, and that was like right
was
in the
in-
corner of that triangle in
Okay,
Amerikamura.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That
yeah.
makes sense.
So like Umeda, like
Yep.
pretty much any station you go to in Japan, there will be like a department store or a fashion building.
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
How about in Tokyo?
How about Tokyo? I'm not really familiar with Tokyo, but in
Shibuya?
Shibuya, there's
Yeah.
a fashion building called 109. People there would call it Marukyu.
Okay.
So-
Like circle.
Yeah, means 0, and Q,
Q,
is
9.
9 in Japanese.
Okay,
And it's
okay.
still shortened, right?
Yeah.
109.
Ichimaru-kyu.
Maru-kyu.
But then again, Japanese people.
Because you guys are always go. I don't have time to say the whole thing.
Exactly. We're too busy.
Exactly,
time
too
is
busy.
money.
Yeah. A Motosando is like
Yeah,
high.
high
Sando,
brand.
high brand.
Yeah, street.
Uh-huh.
Harajuku
Harajuku.
is what is Harajuku? It's all like any type of clothes,
Yeah.
right? And then Ura Harajuku is more street. Yeah.
I feel like Harajuku nowadays is like really touristy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah.
true, or do
Yeah,
Japanese
I think
people?
so. I agree, but still Japanese people like they go
Yeah,
there.
they go there too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the weekends you can still see like all the different subcultures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any type of people are there, like
Yes.
like model, like Miku,
Yes,
say,
yes,
or
yes.
like Galu,
Lolita.
Lolita,
Yeah.
Rockabilly,
Yes.
punk,
How about this?
hip hop.
I've never like wanted to because I'm shy and also you don't want to offend Japanese people. But how generally, what do you think they think? So if a tourist sees like someone that's dressed super gyaru or super lolita, is it rude to ask them, oh, can I take a photo of you or with you?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't even like garu or any like type of like style.
Okay.
But when I was in like walking on the street in Kyoto, the tourists, they asked me if they wanna
If they can take.
take a picture
Uh-huh.
with me.
Okay.
With you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were you wearing?
Yeah, what were you wearing?
Just colorful stuff with my friend.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're
So 2 of you guys.
yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, I just want involve like Japanese, like real, street culture into my photos. So,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing I think a lot of tourists want to
Yeah.
see and experience, like the Japanese street fashion.
Mhm.
It's so popular around the world, right?
Yeah.
And I had a experience. I know you had an experience. Many times when you walk on the street, like here in Toronto, anything, they stop me and then like, where'd you get that?
Oh, really?
Where'd you get this?
Oh yeah, pretty much
It's
every
cool.
time I go out, like
Yeah?
yeah.
See, you guys are fashionable. That's never ever happened to me. Never ever. That's
and,
it.
and then the answer is also interesting when we say it's from Japan, and then they always go, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Western culture, people expect and know
I
that like
guess, yeah.
Japanese fashion is fashionable. It's something that they want, right? And something that I can't easily find in North America.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So I think a lot of Japanese people get this experience. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Like people here tell me like I look good.
Yes.
Yeah. Even in Japan, even though you think someone is looking great, like they won't say that.
Oh,
To
of
strangers.
Yeah.
course.
We
Shy,
don't,
right?
we don't
Yeah.
stop people and then like, where'd you get this?
Uh-huh.
Or like,
Yeah.
even though we think it's cool, then we maybe research,
Yeah.
right?
So I think it's changing what we were talking about before, how like, well, you were saying how in Asia or in Japan, you guys use the Western standard of beauty. But
Yeah.
this is proof that like Westerners are kind of now looking at Japan as the standard of beauty and fashion, right?
Yeah. That's,
So
that's
you
true,
two are
that's true.
helping change the trend.
I always trying to go couple step away for the trend. That's my philosophy for my fashion,
But I think that's what makes it trendy, right?
I guess.
If you're already dressing trendy, you're already too late.
exactly, and then I don't like that. I think you
Uh-huh.
don't like that either. We
Uh-huh.
don't. Yeah, I don't like trend, but
Yes.
I want something new, or I want something I like on
Yeah.
that time, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much does it for our fashion podcast. Again, like with any topic that we talk about, we can get into more detail.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
We can make a podcast only on kimonos, for
Only
example.
one kimono.
right?
Yeah. Only for gothic.
Gothic Lolita, or only on
yeah.
street fashion.
Yeah.
Or
We can do
modo
more.
fashion.
Yeah, so listeners, if you guys want to know more, then you can always shoot us message or leave a
Exactly.
message
Yeah,
or
let us know.
comment.
Um,
We can always focus on that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this brings us to our segment, Kore ka sore, this or that. And obviously we're going to have our guest take part in this. So there will be 3 pairs of words, things that we're going to ask Miku to choose. And
Cool.
just again, adding talking points, some additional information about Japanese culture. So the first one is green tea and hojicha. I think everyone knows now around the world what green tea is, right? And but how about hojicha? What's hojicha?
Hojicha is basically roasted green tea.
Roasted green tea.
So you get more like roasty, nice flavor. Yeah.
So green tea, when you steep it or brew it, you can tell it's like kind of greenish color.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And hojicha
It's
is
brownish.
more
color.
brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Miku, which one do you choose? Green tea or hojicha?
Hojicha.
Hojicha.
Yeah.
Actually, you let us try some of your favorite hojicha before, and it was really interesting because for tea, I would think you use the tea leaves
Yeah.
to brew tea.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular one that you gave us, super roasty flavor,
Mm-hmm.
was made with
Stem.
just the stems,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And hojicha, some people call it sojicha too. Soji means cleaning. It's like a playing a word.
Okay.
But so hojicha like cleanse your gut.
Aha, okay.
That's why like I like drinking hojicha after breakfast.
Okay, so it's like it cleanses you.
Yes.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I've never heard of that before.
Never.
Sojicha. Okay, so you pick hojicha. I think I would say that as well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Next one is everyone here loves Japanese snacks. So when you go to a convenience store or any place you can buy Japanese snacks, they have huge selections, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's huge selections of potato chips and huge selections of gummies. And in Japan, you guys don't say gummies.
No.
You guys say
Gumi.
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 So pick one: chips or gummies.
100% gumi.
Same.
Chips.
Chips. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a sweet or salty
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Living in Japan, I noticed that like the gummy selection over here, you have Sour Patch Kids, Haribo, yeah,
Yeah.
Haribo, but in Japan, so many varieties,
So many.
and I've even seen varieties that are like geared towards women. Like it says the milligrams of how much collagen
Collagen, yeah.
is in the gummy, right? So I suppose the collagen is supposed to be good for
Skin. Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, this bag, if you eat it all, it has like 100 milligrams of collagen. Yeah, that's interesting.
Wow.
That here, no, right?
No. Yeah.
Here, they don't tell you how much
No.
collagen's in
No.
Fuzzy Peaches
No.
or Jujubes or whatever.
No.
There is no, well, there has to be, right?
Yeah.
Gummies. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the collagen is from
It's from animal.
like pork bones,
Yeah, like bones.
beef bones, or
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just
yeah.
extract it.
So you don't feel guilty eating sweets.
That's true.
I see.
But even the texture of Japanese gummies is different,
Yeah.
right? Like it's more bouncy,
Right. Yeah.
and it doesn't stick to your teeth as much. Like I want to say like gummies in North America, like you feel the cavities
Yeah.
forming,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
sticky.
Yeah.
But in Japan, it's cleaner.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't leave a residue in your mouth.
They also have like al dente gumi too.
Al dente.
What's that?
It sounds gross.
It's hard. Like it's halfway.
So the texture wise al dente, like a pasta al
Like
dente.
pasta,
Yeah.
like there's a bite to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harder. I would love
Uh,
that actually.
Uh,
Yeah, I like hard gummies.
yeah.
We could do a podcast all on candy.
Yeah. Candy and snacks.
Yeah. Miku can join us for that podcast
Yeah.
too, and we
Yeah.
can buy a whole bunch and taste them.
And then we can taste it. Yeah.
And
we can make a sound like.
we can make ASMR sounds and we can record it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Let's do that. Like,
let's do that.
where in Toronto would we buy Japanese snacks?
Now there's a lot of Korean supermarket,
that
Yeah.
carry Japanese snacks
Carry-
as well.
and also you can go. I would say like Asian style Dalalama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
true. There's-
called Omomo or Miniso.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like those one, right? In Toronto.
Yeah.
J-Town,
J-Town, yes.
J-Town.
Yeah.
up north.
Yeah. And like Chinese supermarket too. They have some.
Yeah, they have some.
Yeah.
You can actually tell the difference between like Japanese snack and like a Korean snack or a Chinese snack. Like
Yeah.
the quality,
Yeah.
the flavor, the packaging. It's a little like I want to say the Koreans are close, but like Japanese pocky, and then what's the Korean one like?
Pepero.
Pepero. It tastes different, man. Even on a blind taste test, we should do that. A blind taste
Yeah.
test. Is it? We're not hating on the Koreans here, but if you can tell whether this snack is Japanese or
Yeah.
not.
Or
Yeah.
even we can compare with the Western
Yeah.
and like chips, for example.
Yeah.
We won't say if it's better. We'll just say,
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
tell which one is the Japanese one?
Yeah.
Yo, that's
we can
fun.
do that. Yeah,
I want to
that's
do that.
fun. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, soon we do that.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one. Fitting to this podcast, what we talked about at the very beginning. Kimono or yukata?
Kimono?
Kimono.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't get to wear kimono
Oh, I
like
see.
so often, so
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay,
yeah,
okay.
I admire the beauty.
You
of
feel
kimono.
different when you're wearing kimono? Like you feel like more
Yeah, like I feel more like
confident?
posture is straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it also because there's so many layers, it's so heavy, and it's
Yeah,
like that you have
exactly.
to, right?
Yeah.
That's true. The posture, seeing someone wear a kimono on the street, the posture is beautiful, right? Maybe it's even like the steps, because how you wear a kimono, you can't really take big strides, right?
No.
No.
Yeah.
It's quite,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Hojicha, Gumis, and Kimono. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you
Miku.
so much.
We really appreciate it. Our first guest. Now we know how to set up our podcast if we have guests in the future.
Exactly.
We hope.
Perfect.
We hope we do.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. So again, if you enjoyed our podcast, please give us 5 stars on wherever you find your podcast.
Yes, please.
We're also on YouTube now, so
Yeah.
even if you're not subscribed to any of the podcasting or music streaming services, you can find it for free on YouTube.
Yep.
Especially now that we are going to film a snack tasting episode. I think that will translate better onto YouTube. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.